It's time once again. We are going to draw another YouTuber. Sit back and check it out. What is up, blind viewers? All right. Yep, another one. We are going to do another one. This time I'm going to kind of talk you through my little process, what I'm doing, why, how, and all that good stuff. It's kind of because of Mr. Ron Buckley. He asked how I do some of these things, especially the blending and stuff like that. So I figured I would explain a few things while I do this. Also talk about the person. Now this person is really animated. Does a lot of big facial expressions when they talk. So I crank them eyebrows up real high. Yeah, this was a challenging one. This person has a very unique nose, and I really didn't take much notice to it until I really looked at it when I started to draw. I was like, wow. So, in true caricature form, I didn't exaggerate it too awfully much. I did a little bit. I mainly exaggerated some other things subtly, not too much, because this is a female, and yes, I don't go too crazy with the female caricatures. But yeah, kind of drew what I see. Now, what I usually do is I will get basic shapes of certain things, like I'll place the eye sockets, basically, I guess you could say, and I get the bottom shape, a little bit of the nose where things are going to be, and then I will use like one of the lighter shades, one of the undertones, I guess you could say, to sketch it out. And then that way, if it's wrong or in the wrong spot a little bit, it's not a big deal, because I'll be going over things and defining things with darker tones later. But here we got from the eye down the one side of the nose, and we're kind of going to form the nose this way, just using, not drawing hard lines, but just using shading. I have a kind of a darker reddish tinge fleshy color pencil that I'm using right now to go down along there. And this is real time, so you're seeing this isn't the sped up stuff. And here I'm going over with a lighter and kind of doing that blending thing right now. And see, notice it smooths it out a little bit, and then you get that sharp edge. Instead of drawing that line, you kind of get it there where that cartilage and stuff is in the nose. Now we're back to time-lapse stuff. But yeah, see, now I'm using the lighter color and kind of blending some stuff that I threw down, and we'll just kind of go with that and put down some color. Now see, I'm going in with a darker color, a darker brown. It's not a dark brown, but it's a darker brown, and we'll go down along that line that got established through the shading, and kind of put that shadow in there, put shadows in the nasal labial fold there, and they kind of between the nose and the eye, darken that up a bit. See, now I got back with the lighter, and I'm gonna blend it out. The thing about blending too is go with the shape of whatever you're doing, or the direction, if you know what I mean. like that arc above the eye, between the eye and the eyebrow. When you're blending, you want to blend in that arc, in that shape. So what I do is I build up layers and layers and layers. And then once I get all there's usually like 4 or 5, like a light skin tone, a darker skin tone, and then a light brown, and then a darker brown. And then I'll go back in and redefine everything. After I blend it in, I go back with the lightest color that I use and I blend it out. And if it didn't blend out enough, then I will go get the white pencil, and I'll use the white pencil to blend out even further. Now I use a thick paper. It's actually a watercolor paper, and it's a real toothy paper, which means it's real aggressive. It has lots of dips and valleys in it. And when you put layers on, all those little ridges and valleys and the tooth of the paper holds the color and allows me to build up more and more and more layers. Now once you go over and blend it, you kind of push harder and almost burnish it, which means you're flattening the paper out. You're getting rid of all the tooth in the paper, you're knocking it down, and you're blending everything together, which gives it that smooth look. But it also makes it so the paper does not accept any more color unless you put something on top, because these pencils are like waxy. So once you get the wax in there and smashed down into burnished down into the paper, then you're just putting other stuff on top of the waxy buildup. So you kind of go real light at first just to get some color on there. And you see over the lip there, it's kind of grainy and it's not smoothed out, like kind of like the bridge of the nose is starting to get. And that's how you do. You just do the layers and layers and layers and build them all up until you get the desired tones and everything. Now, especially when you're doing faces and stuff, when you're taking a light source into consideration and all that, it's lots of tones. Tonality is the big thing. You got your undertone, you got midtones, you got darkers, you got shadows, you got highlights, there's all kinds of crap going on. But you just layer it in there, and then once you are happy with what you got, then you burnish it all in, smooth it all out, and then later on I actually use another blending technique, and I will talk about that a little bit. And then once you get like the folds around the cheeks, the smile lines and all that, once you get everything and the different tones in and the shadows and the creases, then I go in with the dark and put that nice line in, and that defines everything and tells you where the line is. And then all those from the dark, it gets from dark out to light, and then when you blend it out into that direction from the dark out into the light, and that gives you the illusion of depth. You can almost see that the cheeks are popping out, and that little brown line is actually a big crease. And with the different tones that come out of it, it gives you that illusion of depth on a nice flat piece of paper. But yeah, you can look right there between the upper lip and the nose. The nose has been blended out pretty good. Not done yet, but you can tell. And the cheeks, they're all grainy. Now, as I talked about earlier, this person is very animated and talks a lot with her face. She is very expressive, and scanned through a couple pictures till I found one that I thought represented her in the way that I see her anyway. And with the big, the high arched eyebrows and the scrunched up forehead from lifting the eyebrows and all that. So that's what I was looking for, the the essence that I see and I think of when I think about this person. Again, this one was a little bit challenging. As I do these, I'm going to start kind of doing them, I don't want to say more realistic, but I'm still going to do caricatures, but I'm going to actually spend more time and refine things better than just little sketches that I've been doing. Let's see where we at here. Alright, so you can see going in with the light now. I've got the white and I'm blending out some more stuff. Now I got back in with the darker color. It's like a peachy, got some reds in it. I'm gonna go out and put the blush, like the blush cheeks on. And then that'll get all blended out. There we go. Blending. Now we're going back in and refining eyebrows. Eyebrows are in all kinds of hair. I usually go in with the, I'm sketching in the teeth with pencil right now. But eyebrows I usually put down like a lighter color than what they are. And draw the shape of them. And then I'll go in with a darker color and actually do the strokes of like the hair in the direction that they go. That pretty much forms them pretty good. And then I'll go back over them again with that lighter color, blend that all together, and then go back in one more time with the dark and refine the hairs and the direction and all that. This person also has a very, very thin top lip, especially when she smiles. It kind of all but goes away, so I exaggerated that a little bit. When you're looking at pictures, especially like from Instagram, or if you're capturing stills from a YouTube video, it's always hard for me to see exact colors of eyes and things like that. So all I do is I look at it and I draw what I see. So if there's green hues, I draw green hues. If there's blue, I draw blue. If there's gray hues, or if it's just a brown, that's what I draw. So I might not always get everyone's eye color right, but hey, what are you gonna do? It's they're not standing in front of me, so just do what I see. And here we got another female. She has nice long hair, and she grabs it and slings it all over to one side, leaving a little bit on the one side, but most of it is all over hanging down on the other side. And then it's like the light brown dirty blonde hair with the dark roots, and underneath is all dark. So when it gets flung over, you can see all the dark up top. Kind of skipped around the head here a little bit when I'm doing the hair because it was real long. The video's already getting really long, so I kind of jumped ahead, so some of this stuff kind of skips ahead. See the signature in quick because I didn't want to, I can't sign over top of the little waxy colored pencils, so I signed it real quick before I colored over it. And we jumped ahead, but with the hair I usually go in with a light color, and then I'll go in with a medium color and do kind of like strokes to indicate direction and strands. And I'll go with a darker color, put in more strands and define the direction. And then I'll go with that first light color, kind of blend it all in and blend it out. And then anything that gets kind of smudged or distorted, go back in with the other colors. Now here I am using a colorless, odorless thinner, and that blends out this big area on top, blends out the blacks and everything really good. It's not black, actually it's dark brown, but yeah, that blends that out. And again, go the direction of the the hair, the way that you want the hair to flow. If you go against it, you're going to mess everything up because it does blend it in really nice. It's a thinner, so it will push the colors around and push them into each other. But this is a nice way to drag the darks out and then go from the other side, and it leaves that highlight. But if you go all crazy in any direction, then you're going to mess everything up. So you go with it. Go with the direction. Here we're going to do the highlights in the eyes, the little sparkle, a little twinkle. Touch up some teeth. And yeah, we're wrapping this one up. We're getting down to it. You know, when the little brush comes out with the highlights, you know we're almost done. So there you go. That's kind of my process of how I do some things. But there, this is Miss Sightseeing Sally. Yeah, it is. There she is. Boom, Sally. What do you think? That's a picture I picked because, like I said, her eyes are always wide. She talks with her eyes as well as her mouth and her eyebrows and the wrinkles in her forehead. So there we go. All right, guys, I hope you like this one. Come on back because you never know who I'm going to draw next. It might even be you.
What we do here is go back.